guest Kiki. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Has your culture been robbed, taken, gifted? Are you tired of visiting your ancestors behind a glass case with didactic information on the side? Every time you see a new real estate development, do you worry? Who's under there? And are they related to me? Well, don't you worry, because here at Team Kiki Law, we are here to repatriate, repossess, and redistribute your culture to you, from the institution to you. With my experience of navigating institutions, I'm uniquely qualified to get you your culture back. But wait, Kiki! My culture isn't owned by an institution or held under a real estate development. Shadowy oligarchs have my culture. Well, fear not. Shadowy oligarchs have lots of our culture. But don't worry, because Christie's, well, they're on our hit list. And if we can't get your culture back, then fear not, because what we can do is get you compensation. You could be owed millions. Call 1-800-TEAM-KIKI.
So that was terrifying. Y'all know what that means. It's time for a trip down memory lane with special guest, Kiki. Listen, before we start, and it's an honor to be here, you gotta take a shot with me. You gotta take a shot. Okay, let's try this one. Let me try to help you. I don't know if that's a claw or a flipper. Whatever they do over there, I have no idea. Okay. Alright, well, to ancient aliens and mysteries, I'm the Kiki.
In the early morning, you see the sun rising up, and while the sun goes up, you see on the stairway light and shadow, triangles of light and shadow. They are produced because of the 9 platforms. The light and shadow triangles slowly go down the step.
If those stairs to plant, tell me more. There are more shadow than light. Sounds like an accidental sacrifice to me.
To the pyramid. Until the sun is up there, the message is absolutely clear. God Kukulkan visited the earth.
And I think this is one of the great things which Eric has done, not just in the story of Chichen Itza, but of so many other aspects on other places in this world as well, whereby he focuses on certain details and says, look, this is important. This is a detail which is extremely difficult.
Why do these all just look like tourist pictures? I'm having a hard time believing that this is the guy that cracks the ancient code? I remember him. He pointed out everything. So weird.
This is something which traditional archaeology tends to overlook.
By making a connection between the ancient Mayas' knowledge of astronomy and their precise architecture, Eric von Daniken was convinced that there was much more to his ancient alien hypothesis than he had imagined.
Did he ever prove his hypothesis? Because based on these pictures, I'm not getting that vibe. That tape, that useless tape, he looked for any excuse to pull it out.
For further proof, he looked to another Mayan temple, one that housed what some say was the first ancient astronaut.
You see a man bending forward, almost like a racing motorcyclist. He has his nose on some kind of oxygen mask. He uses his upper hand to manipulate a knot. You see his lower hand, he manipulates some controls. He's sitting on a kind of chair in a sort of capsule.
Could Eric von Daniken be correct? Was Lord Pakal really an extraterrestrial who visited Earth in the distant past? One who perhaps shared highly advanced knowledge with mankind.
Can I tell you something I find impressive? What's that? That never once the humans considered giving we taught the aliens something. That's exactly what I'm always saying. It's not like I went around preaching. What was it, just completely top down, no space for collaboration. There are opportunities for self-discovery, and I go around like some pirate. But let me ask you a question. Are aliens real? I ask myself that every day.
On that note, this is a perfect segue into our next segment, Close Encounters of a Third Kind, White Men. I can't wait to hear what they say about me.
In various Native American traditions, we have different spiritual beings located on these sort of different planes of existence. And there's a wonderful range of stories in many, many Native American groups that talk about some of the adventures and interactions with the sky people, with the humans on Earth.
So the star people in Native American traditions are beings who came from the cosmos, taught the arts of civilization, agriculture, medicine, healing, and they brought maps of the cosmos to Earth.
Especially in the
western part of America, we find petroglyph or rock art that portrays what appear to be star beings. People can look at this art and say, that's a depiction of an extraterrestrial.
Do you think that looks like me?
It's pretty identical.
The aura mystery is gone.
And this is one way that the First Nations people recorded their interactions with the star people.
Might this provide further evidence that the local indigenous populations were visited by extraterrestrials? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and believe the Badlands Guardian may reveal how the ancients communicated with these otherworldly visitors.
Then it must be real, if ancient astronaut theorists say so.
Well, they can't touch me. Star people are everywhere in creation, baby. We left instructions in the moon and the stars.
Now, the headdress that he wears is called a medicine hat, which it's not a chief's regalia that you would see with all the feathers going down that a chief would wear. What a medicine hat entails is it incorporates the tail feathers of an eagle. And these are normally worn by the medicine man.
The medicine man, this is a wisdom figure. It's a combination of professor, doctor, and priest.
Is he kind of hot?
That's your cousin.
It's all in one person. The hat is what we tend to call a headdress. The shamanic ceremonial leader uses that to make contact with invisible dimensions, often thought of as
Where are our matriarchs?
You know, white men love to fetishize men of color.
worlds, in which contact is made with spirits, gods, energy that is beyond our understanding.
The fact that he's wearing a medicine hat that acts as an antenna tells us that this is a figure who was in communication with otherworldly beings, maybe even the star people.
Can I ask a question? Why has no one called me? Whoops.
I'm pretty much there.